glad to introduce Sam. I know that Sam is here.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Can you hear me well?
Yeah.
Great. So I will share my screen. And I will start to share 3 facts that you probably know. The first one is millennials are the worst at financial planning. And software hasn't solved this issue. Nothing addressed their spending behaviors. However, we know that gamification is something that changes people's behavior. So what we're doing is we are bringing the power of gamification to the world of personal finance. And we create a game where people can compete at saving. The goal is to save as much as possible from your real life income to level up your in-game avatar. And Cash Coach is the character that will give saving challenges, track your progress, and keep you motivated on a daily basis. All your real life behavior will be reflected through your avatar. And there's an experience bar representing the percentage of income saved. You also have a poison bar reflecting the credit card debt. And your avatar can progress up to level 5. We launched that in the UK 1 month ago, and we have a core users who are very active. Today, they're playing on their solo competition, and now we are working on the multiplayer mode. And if they can't beat their friends at saving, then they can hire a Cash Coach for $6.99 a month, and they will know exactly which actions they need to take on their behaviors to win. For all users, Cash Coach will also monitor and track their bills. Whenever it can find a cheaper deal, it will offer them to switch and take a commission on average $40 for each switch. So we launched that a little more than 1 month ago. We had 800 signed up all across the world, half of them in the UK. 300 people connected their bank account, 200 are monthly active. And when we say active, they're really active. They use the app 7 times a week, even more than that. And the industry average for finance app is only 1.2. So our users are 5 times more engaged with our MVP. We also created a cool WhatsApp group where people are happy and they enjoy the community. And have a lot of very, very touching messages that people say it really changed their perception and their life and the way they think about money. I have 2 great co-founders. Alex owns the tech, Angela does all the illustrations and the animation, while I take care of all the game mechanics and the data science. So I invite you to try it now if you're based in the UK. We had a very successful crowdfunding campaign with more than 400 investors. We raised 250K and happy to have a discussion with investors. We're looking for a micro ticket, something like 50K, and maybe a bigger round next year. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sam. So now questions and answers, perfect time, and by the way.
Can I ask you, Sam, by the way, that's really good. And I've just looked at your video, your product video, and it's really good as well. You said right at the beginning that gamification changes behavior. Could you sort of validate that a bit for me?
Mm-hmm. When we look at all the most successful fitness apps that try to put people into the right habit of eating, exercising, all the most successful, they use gamification principles. So for example, Strava, they put people to compete at cycling the fastest on a certain segment of the road. And it drives people to use the Strava and do cycling and improve the performance. Same for Duolingo. If you know Duolingo, to learn about languages, leaderboard competition, or all these mechanics are proven to work on people.
But in your sector, any examples in your sector?
No example in our sector except our app, which has 5 times more engagement than the other. So we are the first one to bring gamification to personal finance.
This sounds great. Yeah, Luca?
Yeah, one question from me. Nice to see you again. So I was wondering, like traditional banks and digital banks such as Revolut and Monzo are also starting to offering some budgeting tools. So do you perceive them as competitor, or you compete more like in the game space, in the gamification space? So what do you think about the big players entering in the space as well?
So there are at least 100, if not thousands, of budgeting apps. It never solved the problem. Budgeting doesn't motivate people to change their behavior. What we do and what the Revolut and Monzo don't do is we create the game mechanics, the gamified experience. That's what people come to use Cash Coach.
And which are the initial feedbacks for the customer? I mean, you guys launched 1 month ago, so I was just wondering what the customer says and if you're working on new features.
Yep. Initial feedback is great. They love the competition. They love that Cash Coach is actually giving them the challenges. They don't need to think of how to budget. Obviously, they want more. The number one requested feature today is competition with friends. And that's why we are building the leaderboard, the victory recognition, and how people will compete. The second one is to have a smart bill tracker. And I realized that there's nothing good in the market. So that's something that we are releasing today.
Okay, thanks, Sam.
Hi, Sam. Quick question as well, slightly about competition. Obviously, there's a lot of competitors out there, and the CAC, the customer acquisition cost in this area tends to be really high. How do you expect to compete? And also, how did you go about winning the 800 customers that you mentioned at the beginning?
Mm-hmm. We grew organically, and our primary growth strategy is the virality. So we want people to compete with their friends, which will invite them. And if every user can invite at least 1 or 2 friends, then you create a viral loop. The second and complementary one will be the SEO. We will tackle the financial education. Everyone talks about financial education, but nobody's really addressing it. And after 1 month's launch, I start to really understand what are the struggles people have in being good at managing their money. And we will create a Cash Academy. That will be the one place where anyone can learn everything about money, explain it in a very simple way. And that will be very good for SEO. Our 800 users, they come up organically once when we launched.
For inviting your friends, do you get any bonus or anything through that organic?
Yeah, we will put a referral in place. Each friend you invite, you get 1 month free. They also get 1 month premium free. Yeah, and cool. Point. Yeah.
Thanks.
Sorry,
is there any financial benefit that you provide to your customers? I mean, if they were to win in the game amongst their group of friends or peers, is there any financial reward? And can you lessen the burden financially by having other companies promote their financial services or products on your platform?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so first, the financial benefit is you build your wealth. We target people who want to save more. They don't want it to be broke. They want to buy a house. That's their intrinsic motivation. We just give them the strength to get the right habit to achieve their goal. Then about bringing other financial products, that's something definitely we can do maybe next year, to create a marketplace where we will compare the best saving account, the best investment account, the best fees, help people to remortgage, refinance their cards. There's a lot of opportunity that we can have. Yes.
Thanks, Sam. And I would like to, Anna wanted to ask some question, and that
Sorry,
Sam was the first, and he was almost the sudden to be the first. I saw that. So you have a bit of more benefits to have one more question.
Oh, thank you. I was muted, so I didn't notice that on time. So first of all, thank you for your presentation. I think it totally makes sense from the aspect of the behavioral science. We are now working with the London School of Economics to launch a behavioral institute focused on entrepreneurship and startups and innovation. And I think it's very interesting that you're using gamification. What I'm wondering, you mentioned WhatsApp group. Can you explain a bit more about that, and how are you planning to coordinate basically all of your users with such a tool?
Mm-hmm. So basically, I throw all our first users beta and all people who come and join to WhatsApp group, and then I ask them, oh, what do you think about that? What do you think about this feature? I post screenshots of the new design, and we have this very interactive way of building the product week after week, and every week then it goes to implementation and they give me the feedback and this and that.
Is that very sustainable long term?
Long term, no, but so far it works very well.
Okay, excellent.
Now, I think long term that we will create a forum and community with different sections, but so far the interactivity is very good on WhatsApp.
Okay.